Hello anybody, and welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. I am Mr. Devious, or just Deeb, and in the last episode we finished up Bubble Gloop Swamp, blew off the top of the—
You side with Banjo, but change tack. Imagine you on Grunty's back.
There's Grunty trying to get Kazooie to leave our side and interrupting me, and we beat Bubble Gloop Swamp, which was across the other side of the statue over here, and in today's episode, we are proceeding on to the upper floors of Gruntilda's lair. With breaking this note door when you only need 260 notes to get through. Banjo-Kazooie is fairly forgiving with how many notes you need early on. This will change later. Now, as we come through here, we're going to have a very Egyptian-themed area, and we're going to run around to the backside of this sarcophagus and grab ourselves a Mumbo token. Now, we're not actually going to go over there, up there, because that's not relevant until a little bit later, and I'll talk about that when it is relevant. There's some boots, but we're not going to take those because we don't need those either. This is actually the entrance area to the 6th world of the game, but the entrance to the 5th world of the game is on the next floor higher up. Also, we have a new enemy, which is basically a recolor, and it can take a little more damage than their red counterparts. Now, if we press this, we're going to spawn a little shock jump pad. Not a shock dump pad, as I said in the other episode. Jeez. So, yeah, now that we've gotten that, that'll actually allow us to jump around this area. And you'll notice this vase in the center. So, I started this episode with the mystery of the statue. And that is how you get that Jiggy. The Bubble Gloop Swamp Witch Jiggy. And that's half the Jiggies in Gruntilda's lair already. You know, if she had just made it so those bars did not rise when you grabbed the Jiggy, we could have been trapped in there forever. That would have worked just fine. Anyway.
My lazy sister often sleeps in her pigsty, the dirty hag. The only thing she's ever won was the biggest butt competition at witch school. She often boasts of appearing on the cover of Fat Hag Monthly, posing in her long johns.
Ugh. I'm out of here. I'm getting off this floor. Now that we've gotten that Jiggy, we're pretty much done with these lower floors of the game. For now, we will be coming back to these lower areas later, of course, if we ever get any other cheats, because if you remember, in the last episode, we got a cheat for 200 eggs, so now we can just kind of be even more flippant with our egg supplies than we were before. Anyway, there's nothing else we can really do on this floor for now, so we're gonna go up to the next layer. If there's one thing about Gruntilda's lair I think is a little bit sad, it's that every time you enter a new area, the track for Gruntilda's lair recycles, and that's a little bit disappointing. I would like to, be nice to hear it just continue in one big thing, but loading times, I know. Anyway, you poop on that spider web and that breaks it open. I hate these things. They're just so gross, and I think eggs are the only way to really break through them unless... Yeah. I'm not sure why they put these here. I mean, they're just kind of a distraction, but why put buttons anywhere for anything? For ground pounding? I mean, is it really puzzle solving? And that makes our first shortcut. That's it, you've created a shortcut. Hop in and see. I'm not gonna do that. We do have a beehive dude over here with bees.
Touch my honey this time, and you be sorry.
He is serious.
I'm still here. I watch you play, but I can't think of much to say.
That's kind of funny, actually. Lampshading and all. That she's lampshading and watching the whole time. Anyway, this gross cavern area is not actually going to be much. There's not as much in here as it looks. And we're actually going to be coming out of this... Whoa, camera. And this floor is slippery. And now we've found the entrance to Freezeezy Peak. Which I still find it really weird that even though, again, this is our first time in this lair, like Banjo and Kazooie's first time in Gruntilda's lair, there's like this big wall with them plastered all over it. And that's just kind of a weird thing about this game universe is... Oh, we got some fancy shoes here.
Don't think you can use these until you've found out how.
And those are like the boots. We need to learn how to use those. Obviously from somebody who is our friend, but we're not going to be learning that move for actually a few episodes yet. And welcome to Freezeezy Peak. The Peak's got another new move waiting for you, if you can find it. Actually, it's fairly easy to find, so welcome to Freezeezy Peak. One thing I've noticed about these worlds, now that I've come into this world, is that they start you off in kind of a secluded area away from the centerpiece, and that is going to be our centerpiece, Mr. Giant Snowman. But before we go down into... And ignore that, before we go down into the place proper, we're gonna say hello to the people in this igloo, and by people, I mean, these polar bear children with this sad music.
Where's our presents? Our dad Boggy said he was fetching them. He's been gone ages.
So apparently these kids aren't going to have a very good Christmas because their dad, who's that, is missing and... Why do these kids have... Why do these people have a picture of Banjo-Kazooie? It's kind of weird. I don't understand it. So that's going to be one of our missions as we go throughout the level. We're going to need to find presents. And as we go down the slope, you'll notice that a lot of the slipperiness in this level can be alleviated by doing this.
Oh, my stomach aches. I shouldn't have eaten that shiny thing. Someone help poor Boggy.
So this is the father of the polar bear children up there. He got like 10 feet from his igloo and then ate presumably a Jiggy and got stuck here. And as you can see, ground pounding him. This is one of the few instances in the game where a simple beak buster will not help. Now my main advice as we enter Freezeezy Peak is even though you already should be using Talon Trot most of the time, in this case you should definitely be using it for most of this world because there you get much more traction when you're on Kazooie's legs for whatever reason. See? Let me just show you the difference. And when we're on Banjo, I let go of the control stick like a couple seconds before I actually came to a stop, so that's good to know. Anyway, we're gonna get these, oh geez, snowmen and snowballs. When I was talking earlier in the game about, way earlier in the game, first world like Conga, the ape who throws oranges at you, these snowmen are kind of like the first, they're really improved upon his accuracy. They're pretty good shots. And if you're too still for too long, they will catch you and they will hit you with a snowball. This isn't really so much an issue while you're on the ground. And spoilers, we're going to be flying a lot in this world. So yeah, Freezeezy Peak. This is another fan favorite area of, this is a fan favorite world. I'm not sure if it's the fan favorite world, but I've gotten that vibe a few times. And I mean, come on, it's a, even though it doesn't blatantly say it, this is definitely a Christmas world. It's not just a ice level. It's a whole Christmas jolly themed level, and this will just reinforce it.
We're the Tinklies. Protect us from the Twinkly Munchers as we hop across to our tree. If enough of us get there, we can light the tree for you.
So these are Twinkly Munchers. They're monsters that eat Twinklies, I guess. And there is a good way to do this, is you kind of want to get the timing so that you kill them one after the other in the same sequence. They won't necessarily pop up at in this order of the closest, the second, and then the third. In fact, they will appear out of sync. Usually it's like the first, then the third, then the second, but don't attack them as soon as they appear until you have like them so that you're killing them in this order. I'm not really explaining this very well because it's kind of tough for me to explain this, but say if the last two pop up at the same time, kill the second one, the middle one first, and then the third one. So you don't have the third one popping up before the second one and kind of making things difficult. Otherwise, this could be a lot harder than it really is. It's pretty easy though.
That was close, but we made it. Now switch us on.
You also turned into 2D sprites in a 3D world. For shame. And now we have a giant ice cube. Eggs do not do much to giant ice cubes. Anyway, these ice cube enemies, of course, you hit them, they split into a couple of others, and I'm not sure that's how it works, but whatever. Anyway, we have this button over here, and you might be wondering, oh, how are we going to hit that? We're going to swim through the water and just peck right on it? No.
Is the water too cold for you, Banjo? Well, stay out then.
And the water talks to us. I kind of find it funny that they used ice crystals to signify what they were going for.
Yippee! Be a star and you'll find your reward.
Now, this Jiggy does take a bit of work to do, and you might have been noticing as we've been going throughout the game, Jiggies do take more work the further you get. They take longer to get, and they take more work. Even though there are still Jiggies in worlds that are, like, got pelted by a snowball. Oh no. There are Jiggies that are much easier than others to get in worlds. There are others that are just kind of whatever. Anyway, they said you gotta be a star to get this Jiggy, and what that basically entails is you just gotta fly through this thing and... No, I did not mean to ground pound. Oh, crap, I think I gotta redo that. Yep, this is very likely, unless I get back over there in time. which is also very unlikely for me to get back over there fast enough for me to do that. And hey, there's Bottles's molehill. We're not going to get it yet, though, because we are on a timer that's probably going to run out. Yeah, we're screwed. Unless we can, like, immediately U-turn around, because you not only got to fly through this star once, you got to fly through it 3 times. No, and it crapped out. Well, only one thing to do is to start again, and I'll cut ahead to when I do this. Dang it! And this, we almost got this. Sharp turns are definitely your friend here, so long as you don't overshoot, and that'll, no? Oh my god. Okay, this is not supposed to be this hard, although it is one of the more challenging jiggies in the game, and we're still not done yet. We gotta go back down now, and climb up into the tree. I should stop wasting my life, though, by ground pounding down. Although this is one of the biggest there we go. This is one of the biggest, say, falling levels of the game, in which you'll be going up to such heights that you're in constant danger of falling. And hey, termites! And also a present. You put presents under the tree, friends. You don't put them in the tree. I mean, you can hide, like, your extra presents in the tree, and that's pretty clever, and then when your kids are like, oh, that's all the presents on Christmas, now I'm sad, and then you can be like, oh, now there's one more in the tree, and they're like, whoa, Jiggy. I don't know, that was only our first Jiggy in the world, by the way, so that's kind of an idea of how much work these actually, that Jiggy probably takes the most work out of any Jiggy in this world, so, it's not that bad, I guess. Anyway, we're going to gather up these notes and just finish up what we're doing in this tree. We won't be having to come back, once we're done here at least. Although it is worth noting that even though... well, first I'm going to get this present before I complete that thought.
I'm a present. Give me to someone sad.
It is worth mentioning that even though Jinjos and notes do not reset in the Xbox Live version, arcade version of the game if you die, collectibles like these presents, which you need to gather 3 of for the Polar Bear kids, do reset. Now that we're done with that, I'm just going to talk to Bottles here.
Time for some aerial action with my devastating beak bomb attack.
Nice one, Goggles. Tell me more.
When you're flying, press X to launch Kazooie at a target like a missile. Choose your targets carefully, though, as it costs a red feather each time you use it. Your energy's a little low. I'll fill it up for you. You've learned all the moves I can teach you on this world now.
And with that, we have learned a new move, which is actually one of my favorite moves in the game. I said in the last episode that... Friggin' snowmen! I said in the last episode that a lot of the moves in the... or at least the moves that you get in Worlds 4, 5, and 6 are fairly context sensitive, but this one is generally more applicable than the boots, and it's just a lot more fun to use, because what it does is, let me see if I can't take advantage of this, and... damn it! Nope! This is the Beak Bomb move. It is a lot of fun, and just... it will be a goal of ours, actually, to clear out the snowmen on this level, and we're going to be doing that now, just to give ourselves an easier time, and to get one of the Jiggies in this world, because, well, these guys are just going to keep on harassing us, and hey, there's a walrus over here. Hi, walrus. He's not going to say hi to us. He does not like us. He is not our friend. There's a present out there, which you can see. There's a scarf, which we are going to climb up on by foot, because that's the way we're going to want to do it to get all those notes. I think what makes Freezeezy Peak a really memorable level is just the fact that it's such a flying heavy level, and there's really not as many in this game as you might think there are. I mean, there's a flying pad in most levels per se, but not a lot that just kind of give you free reign to fly around the whole level. And here, it's a lot of fun. And I think this is actually the last snowman? No. Oh, yep, yes it is. And that puts a Jiggy on top of the snowman's hat. But before we go all the way up there, we're gonna finish up with the Beak Bomber move. And when I say this move is context sensitive, yeah, you can use it, you gotta use it to kill those snowmen. And yeah, you gotta use it here, wherein you do this, and I guess push in the buttons because, well, hey, they're buttons, I guess. And what do you do to buttons but push them, right? what I really love about the Beak Bomb move is it helps you get around so much faster. And the second game actually improves on this by letting you hold down the button for an extended amount of time. But now that we've done that, the snowman poops out a Jiggy. I know it's not necessarily mature or whatever, but that's totally what happened. Why else would it appear between his legs? Rare knew exactly what they were doing. I will not be convinced otherwise. Anyway, that brings us up to our second Jiggy in the level, and that is good. It's pretty good. That's all I really have to say on the matter. We're gonna run around here and gather up your spoils. Even though these snowmen do drop stuff, a fair amount of good stuff, you don't want to grab it until you've cleared out all the snowmen, because you're gonna have to get back into the air anyway. But the main thing we want is over here, and it is this witch switch, and doing that will make another Jiggy appear. We will not be able to get that Jiggy for a while. This is kind of going to be a theme with this world. The thing about the fifth world, Freezeezy Peak, and the next world is they're kind of packaged together, and I'll explain this more when I get to the sixth world, but I'm just going to say that there is one Jiggy in this world which we cannot get until we get a move from the next world, so we cannot get this world completely done on our first go. And I'm not entirely a big fan of that, but whatever. What are you gonna do? Am I right? I'm right. I'm always right. So we're gonna come onto these houses in which we cannot destroy the homes of these people. In fact, we have no idea who actually lives in these places. Maybe Jinjos. Because the only citizens we see otherwise are other things.
Brr, it's cold. Nice warm backpack for me.
That's our second present. We do need the third though, and I think the third is up on the Snowman Man. And by going up on the Snowman Man, we're just gonna ignore that guy. We're gonna ride all the way up.
Whew, it's safe for Wazza to come out now.
I don't know why he sounds like Bottles, like an even worse Bottles. That is Wazza. He is a walrus and a racist. He does not like bears or birds, and he's just rude, and we're gonna deal with him later. We're non-violent, actually, and which is actually kind of a funny change for this game, but I guess when you're a big fat walrus, there's not much you can do to them. They can probably tank a lot of damage. Why am I saying tank a lot of damage? That's just silly. Anyway, we are almost... I wouldn't say we're almost done with this world, but we are actually cleaning up a lot of stuff, and I think I know where I'm going to end the video off, and I just mentioned it because I noticed that the time is getting a bit up, even though I do need to cut some stuff. And I think I'm actually going to fly to the top. Well, I'm not going to get on that sled yet. That will be relevant in a moment. But we want to come along on this corncob pipe, and in here, there is a Jiggy. Interestingly, not even the highest point in the level, but it's in like a fairly high point. There are a number of Jiggies associated with this snowman. I think 3, now I think about it. And that lets us grab this present. Take me to the kids. I'm the last one. I don't know why that was so creepy. And now we fly off the nose of the dude, and we are just gonna ground pound up onto the top of the snowman's hat. And they kind of place the notes on top of this snowman's hat in kind of mean places. 4 Jiggies. 4. Because you kind of got to go around the outer edge and get dangerously close to the sides. Now, normally when there are Jiggies on the edge like this, really high up like this, I would prefer to use Banjo, but as we've seen, you actually get more traction when you're Kazooie in this level, which makes Banjo extra useless. And with that, we got all those notes up there, but we're not done. Not quite. The scale of this level is actually impressively huge, and if you want to have an... Oh god, this is terrifying. If you want to have an easier time... What was I saying here? I lost my train of thought. We're gonna ride this bobsled right into his stomach!
Oh, that's better. Hey, you found my sled. I'll go and practice for the big race now. See you, buddy.
Wait, your kids, they need the presents. Okay, Father of the Year. Jeez. Actually, I don't remember the Jiggy being dropped there normally, but that's interesting. I guess maybe that Jiggy drops in a random location. So yeah, Boggy. He was a few feet from from his home, looking for his children's presents. He gets his sled and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go practice for the big sled race. Meanwhile, who has to bring the kids the presents? Me, of course. So this is gonna be the last thing we do.
Wow, thank you, Brown Bear.
These are not the voices I did, but there are a lot of voices in this episode.
Yippee! Now we've all got presents. Here's something for you.
And now the music gets excited because even though these children are fatherless, they do have presents. And really, isn't that what Christmas is all about? Presents? Anyway, I think that's gonna make a good stopping point for this episode. Now that we've had a happy Christmas with these bears, and we're just gonna hang out in their house and sit in their chair, and we'll finish up Freezeezy Peak in the next one. I hope to see somebody then. Bye-bye.